works for you. Take it back no matter what you do. The truth, breathe it out, face your boundaries. Our mission trudge through the mud of time. This truth casts shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark.
Ladies and gentlemen, hope everybody's doing good. Before I go into the events that took place last night, and technically the day before that, let me introduce you to someone real quick. That is Emery Eve. She was just born on the 25th. Super happy. My wife and her are doing excellent. Everything went perfectly. And, you know, 44 years old, starting out all over again with a newborn, you know, it's something else. But I definitely feel a lot more at ease. There's only about 30 seconds of this entire process that makes me nervous. And that's when, like, you know it's coming and she's out. That's really the only thing that ever made me nervous, but the entire process went great. Wife's doing good. We got done with 90% everything we had to get done. Both the teenagers are moved downstairs to their brand new rooms. The contractors are gone. It all worked out great. Now, speaking of contractors, the last video I just put up, what was it, last week maybe? I talked about how they were back. The contractors kind of mentioned something. They weren't really sure. Nobody was sure. Then I experienced some things that I was definitely sure that they were back. But I didn't record the most convincing part. So for you guys and video purposes, not very convincing, right? Week or so goes by, and there's been indicators off and on, nothing too crazy, but the past couple days, the indicators started. And I talk about indicators, mainly the dogs around the neighborhood start. My dogs get squirrely. There's just a few things that start giving hints and clues that they're around, right? Well, I was supposed to be done with the docuseries today, or the new part of the documentary that I'm doing. I would have been done today if it weren't for everything that happened last night. In fact, this started out day before yesterday. I was out there shooting video during the daytime down at my sitting spot. And as I'm shooting video and talking, there's a couple breaks. It sounds like breaks behind me during the day, okay? My neighbor's dog responds to those breaks, sounds like. Good to go. I'm like, I don't know exactly what that was, but who knows? Two different times they've gotten behind me. We're both right here. We're both right here. We're both right here. Well, that was convenient. Anyway, it usually starts with me sitting right here. And then the throws and the break. It's kind of funny, there was that breaking noises and then the dog went off. Last night, everything starts with, there's like a noise out in the front of my house after it gets dark. I set the cameras up. Thank God. new setup. Let's look at that real quick first. I've been talking about having 360-degree coverage down at the sitting spot, right? That, and I've been missing, like, a lot of times I've got cameras in different spots, but they miss things. So I bought 2 body cameras. I got this one here. This one's plugged up, working on something. And then after I got those body cameras, I got 2 more Waze cameras. Now, I didn't plan on using them like this. But what I found out is, yes, they are Wi-Fi cameras. And in order to access their functions, they have to be connected to Wi-Fi, right? But even if they don't have Wi-Fi, they record continuously. I don't get Wi-Fi down at the sitting spot, but that doesn't mean these quit recording. So I've got both of these facing outboard. Then I place this bad boy up front, and then another one in the back right here. 360 degrees, right? Good to go. Well, every night I've been taking the body cameras outside with me, and I set it up on my railing. So if I hear it, that body camera is going to hear it, right? Well, I had the one noise before, like right after it got dark. Technically, the sun wasn't even down yet, or completely down yet. Then my dog, it responded to something and went around to the back of the house. We had a noise out in the front yard. Now the dog is responding to something in the back. Then there was another slight noise. It sounded like something kind of hit the chicken coop, maybe. But then that could have been anything, you know. It's the chicken coop. Things fall out of trees. But then the birds. I've talked about for years now where low nesting birds will indicate that these things are around. And not only that, I believe they mimic the low nesting birds. When they do it, it's more of almost like a smoke detector. And I think they do that to tell each other how they're moving. That's just a guess. I don't know that 100%. But when I hear these low nesting birds, I can almost guarantee that I'm going to get activity. Well, I hear the low nesting birds. I go investigate. Then I go to the side of the yard where I usually do the throwing game, where I can throw rocks and then I'll get responses, right? Well, I went out there, picked up a handful of rocks, nothing happened. I threw a couple, nothing happened. As I'm walking back to my house, in the wood line that's right in front of me, which is on the side of my house, there is a vocal that sounds like a 1,500-pound dog owl. The bass in this voice is something else. To me, it sounds like it's trying to mimic either a dog or an owl. I would bet my house that it's not a dog or an owl. Again, don't know 100% what it was, right? Because we don't have video of it. But this vocal's just nuts. It's just crazy. The loudness and the bass in the voice, and it doesn't sound animal. It sounds like something trying to sound like an animal, to me anyway. You see what you think. All right. You can hear the bird going off. Oh, Macy. Now we got this bird going nuts, which is a really good sign. Hopefully, they're here. We've had a couple good signs tonight. Let's go do our throwing thing. There's another one. There's a dog barking back in the distance. Another really good sign. one of these things doesn't mean much, but when you start putting them all together, it starts to paint a picture, a very familiar picture. What the hell was that? Holy shit. Right, here is the 1,500-pound dog owl. What the hell? All right, this is denoised and amplified. Good to go. Get done with that. Well, now I've got all these indicators. I already needed to shoot like one of the final videos for the documentary. Decided I was going to do it at night. I went down there, I'm talking, I'm going through my whole spiel, and as I'm standing there, I think something just hits the ground behind me, which I just turn and I'm like, okay, and I keep talking because it's not super obvious to me. Well, I listened to the video and it sounds like a brake. Well, I put it in Audacity and it's not just brakes. It sounds like intentional noises, like something taking a branch and hitting stuff or something like that. From my experience, very obviously Sasquatch activity. Or the sighting that I went over. We learned a lot that day. We learned a lot that day. We learned a lot that day. We learned just how smart they are. Interestingly enough, I don't know if this will get in the documentary or not. But I came out here during the day yesterday to film this. And I heard a brake back behind my shoulder and back down towards the creek. And then a dog kind of went off. Tonight, I've had indicators. I've had something what sounds like thrown at the chicken coop. My dog's been barking at something on the perimeter of the fence. There's a thing that happens when these creatures are around and low nesting birds, they start chirping. I guess out of fear, maybe. And I actually do think they mimic these low nesting birds also. But as I'm looking around with my body camera on, I'm walking through my yard, just looking out in the woods and everything, waiting for something to happen. And there is a very, very loud vocalization. And I don't know if it'll get in here or not. I'm going to turn this light off and I'm going to sit here at my sitting spot and I'm going to see what happens. And God, man, it would be totally awesome if it actually, something did happen. Because this is when it starts. We're at the beginning of September, 2 years in a row. 2023 and 2024, the activity started in September. And we're right here at the beginning of September. So let's see what happens. That I went over. We learned a lot that day. We learned just how smart they are. Interesting that I went over. We learned a lot that day. We learned just how smart they are. Interesting that I went over. We learned a lot that day. We learned just how smart they are. Interesting. I go back to the house, sitting around again, waiting. I've got the body camera set up again, and then I hear whack. Something is thrown and hits something. Very loud, very obvious. I go to the part of my yard where I do the throwing game. I walk up there, I throw some rocks at a trash can, then I throw rocks at the fence, and like, I don't even know how many times I've recorded this by now, maybe 8 times, where I'll throw objects and I'll turn to walk back towards my house, and then somebody throws another object, and you can hear it just as plain as day. That happens, and you can tell it's been a while since I've had good activity. I'm super excited. I'm celebrating, right? So that's awesome. Get done with that. I'm looking for more rocks, and there's another throw. This one sounds like it just kind of comes through the trees. It's nowhere near as loud as the other one. But all in all together, they're back.
There's something breaking stuff up here. Hey fellas, what are y'all doing? Hey, Mato. Mato. Good job. Yes.
All right, this is their response while I'm walking away after I do my throws.
I knew they were here. I freaking knew it. Yes, yes, yes. And it's on video. Yes. Good job. Let's do it again. I'm gonna stay over here. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Oh, this is freaking awesome, man. Yes. Yes. Good job. All right, here we go. Ah, pfft. Ah, missed it. There's another one.
I don't know if it has anything to do with the activity, but if you remember my last video, I got very concerned because one of my chickens was killed, right? Then I found out it was a raccoon. Well, I eliminated the raccoon. I pretty much set up a trap and took him out with my crossbow. Good to go. He's gone. I can't have raccoons kill my chickens. It's just, it can't happen. He had been back over and over again. I have him on video coming back after he killed my chicken, right? So I eliminated him, and I thought, you know what? I've only been gifted a couple things. In fact, I've only been gifted 3 different times. Two of those things were squirrels. The third was the Native American skinning rock that I found on the stump back there at the gifting area, right? So I decided if they like squirrels, maybe they'll like raccoons. So I took the raccoon back to the gifting area and I left it. Now it rotted. Nothing really took off with it or anything. It was moved about 10 feet and that was about it. The night before all this started, I started a new gifting area. If you remember in the last video that I put out, down there by the creek, there's this very interesting stick or log, limb, whatever you want to call it, stuck in to the ground right next to the boulders. And there's this little hole next to it. Well, I went out there and left tomatoes and eggs. And then the very next night, I have activity. Does that have anything to do with it? I don't know. There's no way to know that, but I do know this. All the activity and everything that started down at the sitting spot started after several months, probably almost a year of me gifting items. Maybe that's what made them decide to interact more. I don't know. I mean, it feels like they've been around for like a week or more, but not really doing anything crazy until last night. So maybe that changed, maybe it worked, I don't know. But I did find it very interesting. I still have, I've got all this stuff that's recorded, right? But from the body cameras, right? But I still haven't gone through all the video from both of these and the rear body camera as I'm walking down there, do the part in the documentary and walk back. For all I know, there's stuff on here, That'll take a while. I'm gonna put this out tonight, hopefully. And then hopefully tomorrow, the documentary will be done. I would have been done today, but there again, I had so much stuff happen last night. I wanted to go ahead and get that out. It's crazy how all these things work out. There were weeks, dude, I've been working on this documentary for a long time, several months. And there were weeks where I would just get completely stuck and could not figure out why I could not move forward. And then I kept feeling like, well, maybe it'll happen. Maybe after my daughter's born. Maybe that's where, because I'm Christian. So I believe things are supposed to work in a certain way according to His will. And I try to tap into that and not force things, right? It's just ironic that last night I'm shooting one of the last videos down at the sitting spot, and I have that activity and have all these other things happen, and it all just comes together perfectly. I love when that happens. It is almost, what is it? It's almost September. This is normal. This is the time of year where everything starts, right at the beginning of September. Usually lasts from September, October, maybe November. Last year it was only September, October. It ended early. This year it started early. It's not exactly September yet, right? We're still in August at the very tail end. So who knows, man? I hope they're here to stay because I'm excited and I'm loaded up with gear and ready to get back in the woods. I'll talk to y'all later.